Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Mike Knight. I actually have a little guest with me today. This is my Chi Dog, who is my sidekick. I want to talk about something today that, I want you to kind of fill in the blanks with me. It's an expression we've all heard a whole lot, and that expression is, to whom much is given, much is expected. And so, a lot of times we hear that, and we hear the term much. Much is what we pull out of that statement. And I think we naturally gravitate a lot of times when we hear, much, as to thinking, much money, financial means, stuff like that, which makes sense. I mean, I get that. But when I kind of looked at it a little bit more myself and I thought about it, sometimes, we may accidentally take that term much and take it out of context. Much is relative to all of us, in my opinion. Much can be, what we can give. What can you give to somebody? What can you share with somebody? What, for instance, random acts of kindness. That could be your much. When you help people out, making a difference in someone's daily life, that could be your much. Your much could be something as simple as opening up a door for somebody. Seeing how many smiles you can bring to someone's face, how many people's days you can make with random acts of kindness. That could be your much. Your much could be something such as, when you get that, every now and then you're sitting there and you think of someone you haven't talked to in a long time, and you pick up the phone and you just give them a call. That could be your much. Reaching out to them, just letting someone know you're there. Your much could be, just being there for someone, listening to someone. That could be your much. A lot of times, for, those people out there that are married, your much could be those random things you do for your spouse. Or if you're just, in a relationship, the relationship with someone, the random things you do. When I was younger, when I was in college, one thing I would do was when I would come back on breaks and all, is I would volunteer to go over and coach wrestling in my old high school. It was just one way I found I could give back. There wasn't much else I could do. Couldn't really, I was in college, it's all we can do to get two nickels to rub together in college. But at least I could give back and help out those kids and help by, giving what had been given to me through my coaches through wrestling over the years. And I gave that back while I was in college to come back to them. Again, I'm just thinking sometimes, again, the term much, we hear that phrase, to whom much is given, much is expected. And I think that's the challenge to me, is for all of us to find our much. Again, it doesn't have to be great financial means. It's great when people are in a position, and I think in life when we're in a position to do something, we should. And if our position happens to be great financial means or through our company financial means, then by all means, please do that and find your way. But I think we shouldn't let that be where we naturally go to when we hear the term much. It's not always about writing a check. A lot of times it is about giving time to people, time to, great causes, great organizations. Your much can be just making a difference in someone's life, volunteering. Again, find your way to volunteer. A lot of times a little bit adds up. And maybe for you, just, volunteer one day, just one day a month. Right there, if you do that one day a month, 8 hours, you're almost at 100 hours a year. Now spread the word to some of your friends. So now you're spreading the word to some of your friends, and it's kind of the multiplication table there, to where it could be 5 of you. Well, that's 500. That is huge. What if it's 10 of you and you've motivated and moved 10 people to helping out? That's 1,000 hours a year. Let's think about that real quick. 1,000 hours by your gesture towards others. Well, what is that? Well, think about it. That's a lot of time, and it helps out these organizations that so desperately need it. So again, your much can be great things, which a lot of times we think that. A lot of us think on great grand scales, and that's awesome. But again, sometimes your much can be affecting just one person. And if it is just one person, then probably that's what you were called to do that day, is to affect that one person and therefore give to them and finding your much, and therefore they will continue it hopefully and carry on and give to others. So again, we always hear that expression, to whom much is given, much is expected. Let's not always think about that terms in financial ways. Let's think about that term of expected as being ways you can give and to help others. Thanks so much. Hope everybody has a great day. Take care.